Hi guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again, and we are back with a new video today, which is a very important session for a lot of students right now who are in 12th standard and who are confused about what to do, and they are preparing for CLAT. And also now there is a new option for central universities that has come up, that is CUET. So now we have to see what are the similarities, what are the differences in these exams, what all options open up if you are planning to look for law colleges under the CUET course and you want to look for 5-year law colleges under this exam. So there are a lot of options. Before we go on that, please hit on the like, share and subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit on the bell icon. And today we have Amandeeps sir with us on this very special session. Welcome, Aman sir. And hope you are doing great, sir. So, sir, CUET has come up now in this scenario entirely, and we are seeing that there are some new options that are coming up for this exam. So, what are your first views about the CUET paper, sir?
So, I think, Sanjeev sir, I think एक चीज जो ज़्यादा हो गई है वो मुझे feel हो रहा है कि there is a lot of misinformation also and anxieties शायद ज़्यादा हो गई है. I don't think, and I think you will also agree कि बहुत सारे ऐसे students who are primarily looking at law, है ना, जो शायद जो law में interested थे, शायद उनको इससे पहले CUET के बारे में या central universities के बारे में ज़्यादा idea था भी नहीं, right?
Right.
Because when we say that we are interested in law, right? Then we say that these are the top 4 or 5 exams which you should be looking at. तो उनमें ये universities का नाम नहीं आता था, but because there has been a lot of chat happening कि क्या होगा अब क्या नहीं होगा, and a lot of students have been asking us that how is it going to be different from CLAT per se. So I think उसके बारे में आज हम बात करने वाले हैं. But for me, if you ask me, someone who is really focused, someone who is really interested in law, right? उनके लिए शायद कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा change नहीं हो रहा है. Maybe they will have to prepare for a new exam now. Provided they are targeting that particular university. But other than that, I don't think जो भी हमारे students हैं who have been with us for last 1 year, right? They need to worry too much about all of this. Yes, they will have to appear for one more exam. उसके लिए उनको अलग से form भरने होंगे. That is there. But I think जहाँ तक आपके preparation की बात आती है, I don't think कि इनको ज़्यादा कुछ फिक्र की ज़रूरत है.
Okay. So that's what you heard from Aman sir. So there are some expert advice that we all give as mentors, and also the new exams that come up and any other articles that are very important for you to read. We upload it on our Telegram channel. So do make sure that you are also subscribing to that channel for all these regular updates on our videos and all the papers and quizzes that keeps on happening on those Telegram channels. Now, what is exactly CUET? So this will be the test that will be conducted by National Testing Agency, also called the NTA. You can see the logo of the examination agency also. So the test will be conducted in 2 slots, and it will be conducted between the 1st and the 2nd week of July, and it is a computer-based exam. So all of you are already used to looking at the laptop now because of the COVID-19. So you need to yes, Aman sir, you like to add something?
So I think that is the first difference, right? Because guys, whosoever wants to understand or wants to have more information on CUET, right? You can go and watch Sanjeev sir's video on the same, right? जहाँ पे संजीत सर ने CUET के बारे में बात की है. But आज का जो guys हमारा agenda है, that is कि हम CUET and CLAT या AILET के बारे में जो भी बच्चों के इश्यूज आ रहे हैं, हम उनके बारे में ज्यादा बात करने वाले हैं. सो संजीत सर, पहली जो चीज है यहाँ पे जो अलग आ जाती है वो क्या आ जाती है कि CLAT एंड AILET ऑफलाइन मोड में है और ये जो एग्जाम है ये ऑनलाइन मोड में है. दो बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को ने मॉक्स जो दिए हैं वो ऑनलाइन मोड में भी दिए हैं, right? But we have been asking them now that they should give more offline mocks because वो जो दोनों मेन एग्जाम है हमारे वो ऑफलाइन मोड में होने वाले हैं. सो आई थिंक ये एक पहला मेजर जो डिफरेंस है वो यहीं पर आ जाता है कि ये ऑनलाइन होने वाला है ये एग्जाम, और वो जो दोनों एग्जाम है वो ऑफलाइन होने वाले हैं. तो थोड़ी सी स्ट्रैटेजी इसको लेकर भी आपको थोड़ी सी देखनी होगी कि ऑनलाइन एग्जाम में हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर फॉर दैट.
राइट. Okay, so yes, definitely, sir. There is a difference of strategy that you have to pick up if you are going for an online paper and an offline. There are a lot of things that you need to take care when you are in an offline test. OMR sheet will also play a very, very important role in such a paper, and which is not required for you in an online exam. So if you are going for CLAT and AILET, so do make sure that you are also learning how to fill up those OMR sheets properly, so that they get scanned and you get the right amount of marks for all the questions that you have marked. Now coming to the next part is that will CUET affect other law entrance exams? So no, there will be no effect on these other law entrance exams. CLAT, AILET, SLAT, LSAT, NMLAT, CULE, that is for Christ University Law Entrances, and MHSET. So these are the most important exams that are there, and they all remain unchanged. There's no change in the pattern. AILET has changed its pattern, but it is not because of CUET. It is because AILET wanted to. So CUET in the end of the day is not going to affect any admissions in national law universities or private colleges. It is mostly for central universities that want to seek an admission through a common entrance test. So they are providing admission through CUET. Now, coming to the next part, are there 5-year law programs available under CUET if you plan to give the exam? Yes, there are 5-year law colleges. So if you are planning to open any of these options that are written below, that Allahabad University, IIMT, Meerut, BMN Muljal, Jagannath University, a lot of people have started opting for these universities also. If you are someone watching this from Assam, South Bihar, Lucknow, or you want to get into Banaras Hindu University, which is also a very, very famous option for LLB in India and under the traditional name, if you are looking for that option, it will also be covered under CUET. So what is the asking of these colleges? Basically, if you see, Banaras Hindu University is one of the top colleges under this, providing you a BA LLB 5-year integrated program. So what are they asking? Yes, sir.
I think संजीत सर जो अभी हमने जो लिस्ट देखा, I think उनमें 2 या 3 यूनिवर्सिटीज जो स्टैंड आउट यूनिवर्सिटीज होंगी, right, for law aspirants. I think one would be BHU, one would be BML, right? Again, I think of late काफी अच्छा जो feedback है, right, वो सुनने को आया है. And I think and the last would be, I think, the one at Jaipur, right? Jagannath University. I think a lot of people from Rajasthan appear for that. अगर उनका जोधपुर या like CLAT के through NLU जोधपुर है, वो नहीं होता है. And if they don't want to move out of the state, right? So that is so वहाँ पर ये होता है. And I think one more thing which we would want to deal here with, and I think बहुत सारी जो हमारी queries आ रही हैं हमारे पास, वही आ रही हैं कि when to look at these universities, right? So बहुत सारे बच्चों को ये बोल रहे हैं कि सर क्या ये यूनिवर्सिटीज, अगेन तो ये एक बहुत ही ज्यादा एक पर्सनल कॉल होगा स्टूडेंट्स का, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल जो अगर हम देखें कि like CLAT, AILET, SLAT, right? जो सिम्बी का जो एंट्रेंस एग्जाम है, then there is MHCET as well, जहां पर 2 या 3 कॉलेजेस बहुत अच्छे माने जाते हैं. तो उसके बाद अगर आपको फील होता है कि आपको if you are not able to make the cut या for some reason, right, कुछ एक रीजन से वो एग्जाम अच्छे नहीं होते हैं हमारे, तब आगे क्या करना है, वहां पर ये यूनिवर्सिटीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है. फॉर एग्जांपल let's take example of Mr. X, right, जिन्होंने एग्जाम्स दिए, उनका यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं होता है, and he does not want to take a drop, right? And maybe आगे जाकर he wants to write the judicial services exam. उनका जो idea है, he doesn't want to go for a corporate job, या उनका अगर ये मकसद नहीं है और या ये idea नहीं है, then maybe like he or she is better off looking at one of these central universities which are closer to their home, closer to their house, and they can start preparing for their other exams as well. So I think यहाँ पर बहुत सारे parents का भी जो concern वो यही है कि when do we look at these universities? And I think सिर्फ CUET की वजह से I'm like we are very happy कि CUET की वजह से इन universities का भी नाम बाहर आया है, और शायद बहुत सारे लोगों को तो ये मालूम ही नहीं था कि BLLB कोर्स जो है वो NLUs के अलावा कहीं और अवेलेबल भी है, right? So I think ये सबसे बड़ा I think एक वो था इनका. But I think these 2 or 3 universities, I think everyone may look at these universities अगर उनको ये feel होता है कि they want to have a good backup.
Right. And also, sir, giving one exam will open all the options for all these universities. So it's very easier for the student. So if he's not getting a good university, say he wants to stay in Rajasthan, not getting a good university there, so you can always go to UP, MP, or any other state also. So that flexibility comes up for you. And also, like you can always see that there is an NLU in your state, then there are private institutions in your state, and there are central universities. So these are the 3 best bets you always can keep. So you always can keep these options. If you are from Jaipur, you are wanting to keep Jagannath University, you want to get into Rajasthan University 5-year law college, and there is a plan that they might also enter the CUET and they might start taking admissions from them. So there is a lot of colleges, lot of options that will come up under CUET also. So this can be one more backup option that adds up to your list after CLAT, AILET, and SLAT also, right? As we keep MHSET and we keep NRC Monji, we keep Christ University, you can also keep CUET as one of the options for the same. Now coming to the admission criteria for BHU. So if you know that CUET has 4 levels, right? So there's a language test, there is a domain-based test, that is the level 2, section 2, and section 3 is the general test. Now, basically here, the university can ask you for a certain criteria if they want to give you an admission in their college. So Banaras Hindu University is expected to keep a criteria of section A, that is the language test, Hindi or English, and the legal studies exam, that is the domain selection. So if you are planning to go for 5-year law course in any of these universities that come under CUET, you definitely need to study legal studies in your domain, and you need to appear for that paper also, right? So there will be a creation of merit list on the combined scores of section 1A and section 2. So if you are someone who's planning to go into BHU, if you don't give both of these exams, then you will not be qualified for the Banaras Hindu University admission. Now, the admission criteria for BMN Muljal is also the same, and they also ask the student to appear for a general test, right, which have a lot of things involved in that general test. We will talk about it also. Now coming to the next part is Jamia and AMU, right? Jamia is also a very big option for students living in Delhi, so they also aim for Jamia, and Aligarh Muslim University is one of the very good university of our country. So if you are planning to go to any of these, they are not planning to go under a CUET, or they are not planning to join this central university entrance test, and they will take their own exam as they are doing the same for a long period of time. Now, what is the exam pattern like? So the section 1A is language, right? You can choose from different languages, 19 languages that are there, or 13 in the section A. So you will find English as a part of section A itself. There will be 40 questions that will be there, and you have to attempt all of them. Okay. Now there will be a language that is required, that is reading comprehensions, factual, literary and narrative literary aptitude, and vocabulary. So basic verbal ability that you've been doing so far will be a part of your subject language test. So Aman sir, do you think that this section of language test, particularly English studying, will help the students in the CLAT exam, because it is also an intense reading paper? Sir, I guess you are on mute, sir.
I think it will be of great help, since, but I think मुझे feel होता है कि it will be the other way around. If you are preparing well for CLAT, I think वो जहाँ पर, because जो उस exam का जो level है, वो I think यहाँ पर आपको ज़्यादा help करेगा. तो I mean all of us, right, who have been saying this for last 1 year, अगर आप 1 साल से बहुत अच्छे से अगर आप तैयारी कर रहे हैं अपने CLAT एग्जाम के लिए, तो आई डोंट थिंक कि आपको इसके लिए अलग से कुछ ज्यादा करने की जरूरत होगी. ऑब्वियसली वी विल हैव टू सी, राइट, कि क्वेश्चन टाइप्स वो हैं कितना अलग है उससे, बट आई डोंट थिंक कि जो भी स्टूडेंट जो कि बहुत सीरियसली अच्छे से अटेम्प्ट या अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर रहा था फॉर CLAT, उसको इस सेक्शन में ज्यादा कुछ इशू होगा. I don't think so.
Okay, so basically it's the other way around. अगर आप CLAT के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो आपको यहाँ पे RC पढ़ने में या कॉम्प्रिहेंशन या लिटरेरी फैक्ट्स सॉल्व करने में ज्यादा डिफिकल्टी नहीं होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज आई गेस सर एज अ लॉ एग्जाम it is also kept on a higher side because they want to check the language better of a student who's coming there. So it obviously makes more sense to study for CLAT, and this will also get sorted with time. Now, next is domain subjects. 27 domain subjects are being offered, and they will be 40 questions to be attempted out of 50. And these will be direct MCQ based exam. And also the MCQs will come from the NCERT book. Right, so we will also discuss what is the course like if you are planning to go for law in the NCERT book, and how different it is to CLAT examination, and what do you require to clear it also. Now, the general test is the third part, where some BM and Muljal like universities have asked for it also. So there is general knowledge, current affairs, mental ability, numerical ability, all these things that is there in a general aptitude based examination are covered in this general test also. So if you were planning to leave on maths or logical reasoning for CLAT, AILET, you are missing on a long train here, right? So you need to make sure that you are preparing for these sections very well, because they will be a part of your all the entrance exams that you will be going forward to. Now, coming to the next part is that most students who are planning to go for CUET, and also they need to opt for a domain and also need to give the general test. I will tell you that every university will have its own set of rules and regulation. If you are planning to go for a different kind of domain, you can choose 2 to 3 domain examinations and you can give all of them. So you have to give the language test, that is either Hindi or English. You have to give a domain exam. If you are planning for law, you have to go for legal studies. If you are planning for any other exam, any other course, then you have to pick your domain according to that. And general test depends on what the university is asking for. So these are the 3 parts basically that all the students have to opt for if they are going for CUET paper, because most of the universities will ask for these kinds of qualifications to be done in the CUET paper. Now, class 12th course, Aman sir.
Yeah.
So this is like there are some of the topics here that we have also studied in our law school, right? And the depth of these topics, I've seen they are good enough for a person of 12th standard to know that what exactly helps in arbitration, what are the tribunals, how human rights are working. Right. So it's an in-depth knowledge of this topic, right? So what do you think, like 12th, if a person is studying 12th legal studies, so how do you compare the legal aptitude of CLAT to this, and how different will it be if someone is attempting the paper of legal studies and CLAT?
So I think और यही as I was saying, right, and यही इस पे आज हमको ज़्यादा बात भी करना था, because a lot of people have been asking us कि क्या ये बहुत बड़ा कोई edge है for the students who have opted for legal studies. I think एक चीज जो इससे बहुत अच्छी और निकल कर आई है वो ये निकल गई है कि बहुत सारे लोगों को ये मालूम पड़ा है कि legal studies as a subject available है आपके class 11 and 12 पे. In fact, a lot of parents have asked us कि legal studies चीज क्या है, right? So that also shows, right, that a lot of people are not even aware about the optionals or the options they have in class 12th. Again, we also agree कि बहुत सारे schools में option available भी नहीं होता है, right? So legal studies as a class 12 subject शायद बहुत schools में available भी नहीं है. Right. But yeah, but I think now more people are aware of that. Now, Sanjay, if you look at these topics, right? अगर आप देखें कि जो topics हैं और अगर आप इसको compare करें कि what we have in CLAT, so obviously we have contracts, we have torts, we have criminal law, but when we look at the legal studies course, that all of this is covered under one unit, that is unit 2, right? जहां पर जब हम CLAT की बात कर रहे होते हैं तो these 3 are actually considered to be really important, right? So these I would say कि almost 50 to 70%, 50 to 60% का अगर लीगल एप्टीट्यूड सेक्शन की बात हो तो आई थिंक ये तीनों जो चीजें हैं ये बहुत ज्यादा वहां पर इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं. बट यहाँ पर ऑल ऑफ दैट इज अंडर वन पर्टिकुलर यूनिट, और वी कैन से वन चैप्टर. सो ऑल आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज कि शायद लीगल स्टडीज के पर्सपेक्टिव से जो वेटेज है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, टॉर्ट्स, क्रिमिनल लॉ का, वो बहुत कम है जो हम क्लास 12 का कोर्स देखते हैं, और वो क्लैट में बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है. That's part number one. Now the other thing is, but we also have something called miscellaneous laws, right? जो कि हर हम like we also teach that. We teach a bit of administrative law as well, a bit of ADR as well. We also do a bit of what is conciliation, arbitration, all of that. So I think वहां पर डेफिनेटली एक बच्चे को जिन्होंने लीगल स्टडीज को देखा है शायद थोड़ा उनको एज मिलता है, बट जो कोर्स या जो एग्जाम का जो पैटर्न है वो बहुत ज्यादा अलग है, राइट? वी हैव सीन दैट इन द लास्ट 2 years जब से क्लैट का भी पैटर्न चेंज हुआ है, तो वहां पर इन जो 3 या 4 टॉपिक्स के बारे में बात हम जो कर रहे हैं, इनसे ज्यादा इट हैज बीन मोर फोकस्ड ऑन करंट अफेयर्स, जहां पर कुछ एक चीजें जो लीगल इश्यूज हैं उनके बारे में बात हो रही है, राइट? सो इट इज मोर पैसेज बेस्ड. पैसेज है वहां पर भी, और शायद वहां पर भी हो सकता है कि दे हैव पिक्ड अप अ पैसेज ऑन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लॉ, बट जो आपको जो बेसिक्स जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लॉ के जो लीगल स्टडीज कोर्स में पढ़ाए जा रही है, शायद वो पैसेज शायद उससे बहुत आगे की बात कर रहा होगा, एंड उसके लिए आज जो आपको कॉम्प्रिहेंशन एबिलिटी की जो जरूरत है आपकी, राइट, वो शायद बहुत अलग है. सो ये मान लेना कि अगर आपने लीगल स्टडीज लिया हुआ था एंड अगर आप उसके लिए बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ भी रहे हो, तो आपका क्लैट के लिए बहुत अच्छी आपकी क्या कहते हैं प्रिपरेशन बहुत अच्छी हो रही है. आई डोंट थिंक सो कि आप ऑटोमेटिकली बोल सकते हैं कि आई हैव बीन प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर क्लैट बिकॉज आई हैव बीन डूइंग लीगल स्टडीज सो वेल. दैट इज पार्ट नंबर 1. तो आपको अलग से कुछ और करना ही होगा इफ यू वांट टू get a good rank in CLAT or AILET or all the other major law entrance exams. So that is part 1. And the part 2 is ki if you look at CUET, तो वहां पर because it will be based on the NCERT या जो भी आपका जो legal studies course है, तो मेरे ख्याल से ये जो एग्जाम होने वाला है लीगल स्टडीज का, जो CUET के अंदर एग्जाम होने वाला है, वो बहुत अलग होगा एज कंपेयर टू क्लैट, राइट? और इसी के ऊपर सबसे ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन है बच्चों को भी कि क्या हम दोनों में से एक ही चीज को कर सकते हैं, एंड द आंसर इज अ बिग नो, राइट? इफ यू आर अपियरिंग फॉर द CUET एग्जाम, तो वहां पर आपका जो प्रिपरेशन स्टाइल है वो बहुत अलग होने वाला है, राइट? और वहां पर अगेन दोनों में MCQs आ रहे हैं, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट. दोनों में कुछ ओवरलैप होगा, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट. बट if we look at these or if you look at this slide, और अगर हम यहाँ पे जो यूनिट्स दिए गए हैं अगर हम उनको देखते हैं, तो मेरे ख्याल से वो ओवरलैप भी मुश्किल से 20 या 30% से ज्यादा का नहीं होने वाला है, राइट? वो ओवरलैप भी नहीं होने वाला है. यस, ऑब्वियसली आर्बिट्रेशन के ऊपर अगर आपको एक सवाल आ रहा है सर, तो अगर आपको आर्बिट्रेशन क्या होता है वो मालूम है, तो दैट गिव्स यू द कॉन्फिडेंस टू गो फर्दर. लेकिन अगर आपको वो आर्बिट्रेशन क्या है एंड इफ यू जस्ट लॉस्ट विद द वर्ड कि आर्बिट्रेशन का मतलब ही क्या है वही आपको मालूम नहीं है, तो ऑब्वियसली आपको आगे भी वो पैसेज में शायद और ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स आने वाली है. तो आई थिंक my personal take on this is that legal studies is good because it will make you comfortable, I would say, with the basics of law, right? Like you would understand what these terms are. But I think other than that, it could be I don't think कि बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ overlap होगा.
Okay, so that's perfectly said, sir. There's not much of overlap here, but obviously there are additional topics which are much more in depth, which are not required for CLAT in that manner. Your just far-fetched knowledge about these topics will also help you to crack the paper, because you need to understand what is being told to you in the comprehension rather than learning it as you are learning it in legal studies. Now coming to similarities with CLAT. So if you see the general test, there are quantitative reasoning, general knowledge with current affairs and legal studies, right? So if you are studying for CLAT, you are obviously preparing for all these topics. But if you are preparing for legal studies because you are studying for CLAT, then you are going to also fail miserably, because legal studies is much more in depth. So if you want to study for that subject, please study for it separately. It's not going to be interrelated or intertwined with your CLAT prep, or if you're studying for CLAT, your legal studies will get very much better. That's not going to happen, because it's very much different from that paper. And the basics of both the paper might be same, but the comprehension based and all these differences are very niche. We'll talk about them later. And language testing, right? So we've discussed this. So any law exam has good verbal ability skills that are required, good reading interpretation skills that they ask you for. And CUET has also made sure that they do the same with you. That's why there is a separate section for a language ability test that will be English or Hindi that you need to prove your part at in section A. So do make sure that you are preparing for language tests like English very, very properly, or your verbal ability in a very good manner. Now, what are the difference between CLAT and AILET? CUET and CLAT, sorry. So as we know, sir, the online and offline difference was there, right? And the legal knowledge we have discussed. So what do you think is, what is more differentiating than these two other factors also that we can see in this paper that a student has to keep in mind if you're preparing for both of them?
I think Lisa, just the pressure. I mean,
right.
The way CLAT paper is structured, the way the paper has been structured, and jitna aapko reading required hai, I don't think जो CUT का एग्जाम होगा वहां पर इस लेवल का कॉम्प्रिहेंशन एबिलिटी या जो आपकी रीडिंग स्पीड की जो बार-बार बात बोलते हैं वो शायद वहां पर इस लेवल का मतलब आपका है वो लेवल, तो इट इज वेरी वेरी नाइस. आई मीन लाइक तो सबको फायदा ही होगा. बट इफ यू आस्क मी कि क्या फर्क क्या होगा, तो दोनों पेपर्स शायद इन मामलों में बहुत अलग होंगे. आई डोंट थिंक CUT एग्जाम में अगेन वी विल हैव टू सी बिकॉज ये दिस इज going to be the first year, right? So we have not seen the paper, and okay, and also because कि first year है संजीव, तो शायद ज़्यादा surprises and ज़्यादा मुश्किल शायद वो नहीं भी होगा, right? So that's my gut feeling, and I think that's what everyone also like else also feels कि शायद like ज़्यादा इतना मुश्किल नहीं होगा. और जहाँ पे आप CLAT की बात होती है तो वहां पर तो we all know, right, कि आपका जो speed है वो कितना ज़्यादा matter करता है. तो CUET के लिए again, as we just like we just saw key basics. So what do we mean by the basics, right? The thoughts will remain the same, right? आपका जो definition है, क्या होता है, contract क्या है, all of this will remain the same. But जहाँ पे CUET में शायद इसी से काफी कुछ आपका cover हो जा रहा है, CLAT के लिए this is just the starting point. This is just the starting point, and उसके बाद पैसेज में कितना हैवी इंफॉर्मेशन दिया जा रहा है उसके ऊपर ये डिपेंड करेगा, जो कि CUT में किड्स नीड नॉट वरी अबाउट दैट, स्टूडेंट्स नीड नॉट वरी अबाउट दैट, बिकॉज वहां पर वो नहीं आने वाला है. MCQ है, अगर आपने उसको अच्छे से पढ़ा है, लीगल स्टडीज की किताब को अच्छे से पढ़ा है, आई थिंक मोर लेस यू विल बी एबल टू डू जस्टिस टू द एग्जाम.
So as also sir, there is a very big difference between CLAT and CUET is that CUET has a set pattern for course for domain, so which is not existing in CLAT anywhere. There is no set pattern. They can give you anything from GK. They can go all around talking about one topic or one kind of theme, and they can do that anywhere. So CLAT
सर ये भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग हो सकता है कि इस साल बिकॉज CUT इज इन द न्यूज सो मच कि CLAT कमेटी जो है वो जो अभी हमने जो चैप्टर्स देखे, राइट, अंडर लीगल स्टडीज, तो अगर वो हो जाए वो आई थिंक बहुत ही अच्छा होगा कि लीगल स्टडीज को ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दिया जाए इवन इन द CLAT एग्जाम, राइट, कि जो भी 8 जो चैप्टर्स हैं, राइट, आर्बिट्रेशन की बात कर रहे थे अभी हम, मीडिया की बात हो रही थी, टॉर्ट्स, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, राइट, जुडिशरी की बात, सो वो अगर हो जाता है, राइट, दैट वुड बी ग्रेट. बट एज ऑफ नाउ और इफ वी लुक एट द लास्ट 2 years, आई थिंक ऐसा नहीं हुआ है, राइट. सो उन्होंने अपना एक अलग जो एग्जाम का जो स्टाइल है वो बहुत अलग रखा हुआ है. बट या हो जाए तो लाइक आई थिंक दैट विल बी विन-विन फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स एज वेल एंड फॉर अस एज वेल.
Yes, that is definitely there. And also we have this assumption because we haven't seen the CUET paper, so we can right now say that CLAT will be much more lengthier than the CUET paper, and because it has comprehension based examination, there are more comprehension based questions in CLAT, and also CUET will provide MCQ based paper, and also they are planning to pick up the domain based subjects from the NCERT book also. So it will be a pretty straightforward paper. Nothing is going to be out of the course. So CLAT is seeming to be a little more lengthier in this. So sir, I have received a question from Tab. Is that so OMR sheet, Tab, we have made a special video for OMR sheet. Please do watch that, and we have discussed how to fill it, how to maximize your time in it. We have discussed it in detail. And how many mocks should you write right now for a CLAT examination? Aman sir, any tips for students who are looking for CLAT in next somewhere around 48 days, sir?
I think Tab Sharma, I hope that's the name, right? And I'm getting it right, or maybe it is just the online name. Okay, so I think it will vary from student to student, because there are a lot of students who are appearing for their boards. तो उनको वो भी देखना है कि boards में how well they've already prepared, या क्या उनका किस stage पे वो हैं. But I think 3 mocks a week, I think because we are not left with too many days now. बहुत कुछ और भी चल रहा है. But I've been saying this to a lot of our students as well, and to everyone, right, who's preparing for CLAT, कि आपका इस time पे focus सिर्फ ये होना चाहिए कि whenever you find time for your CLAT prep, don't look at the funda book, don't look at anything else, just try and give the mock, analyze the mock, revise everything through the mock, learn new things through the mock, but don't go and don't try and go subject wise, right? Because abhi हमारे पास इतना वक्त नहीं है. So I think mocks, so answering I think 3 mocks a week should be good enough, provided you are analyzing them really well, and you are revising through the mocks again.
Okay, that is perfect. So I hope Mr. Sharma, you've gotten your answer, and also you'll be able to solve all these mocks that sir has told you to do. So sir, this is the final question. So should a law aspirant who's planning to go for a good NLU or want to go to a private university, should he take a CUET? Is it worth all the effort to take up a new kind of examination if he doesn't have, say, a lot of students don't have legal studies in their 12th standard because some of the schools also don't provide it. So what should be their take? Should they take up the risk of studying these 10 chapters, which we have also studied, and they are very much intensified to a level that it requires an effort for a CBSE exam to be conducted on that? Should they take the risk, or should they prepare for the general exams that have been existing till now?
I think again, we started with the same thought, right? We talked about it. It will depend from student to student. I think our idea is to give out all this information कि ये colleges हैं, ये यहाँ पर इस exam में ये आने वाला है. But if you ask me, I think it's a very personal take, right? If you seriously feel that you don't want to go out of your state, of your particular state, या आपको feel होता है कि ये एक college अच्छा है, or for that matter, if you don't want to drop any year, I mean, we know, right? A lot of students prefer to take a drop, to take a full drop to prepare for the exam again. So I think it's a very, very personal take. But अगर आपको ये feel होता है कि आपके पास जो options हैं, and you want to increase the number of options you have, या आपको ये feel होता है कि अभी तो मेरे को सिर्फ देखना है कहाँ होता है, उसके बाद I will take a call. I think that's also not a bad approach to fill up the form, right? To prepare for the exam as well, and then see, right, कि आपका, because we don't know, right? We never know, right, कि आपका उस दिन पे वो particular exam कैसा होता है, right? So at least for the backup, I would say, right? Again, a lot of people will not agree to it, but I think एक law student के लिए जो भी colleges हम यहाँ पे देख रहे थे, I think अगर उनको as a backup वो colleges अच्छे लगते हैं, I think then definitely they should take the CUET exam as well.
Okay.
It's just like one more exam जो हमने अभी जो list देखा था of that 6 or 7 major law entrances. I think this will just add to that. और अगर इसमें आपको वो जो 2 या 3 colleges के बारे में हमने बात किया, अगर आपको वो feel होता है कि वो अच्छे हैं, and you would want to have at least an option open, then yes, then the answer is a big yes.
Okay. And obviously, sir, it is an added advantage for students who have legal studies. So it's not something that they have to go out of the blue to prepare. It's something on the lines of CLAT, where all other things are getting covered in CLAT, and legal studies they're already studying. So it is a worthwhile effort. And for people who don't have legal studies, if you still read those subjects, it will be very helpful and an added advantage for you in CLAT also. If you want to take that step, you can obviously do that. But as a CLAT student, all of these knowledge is not compulsory for you. But as a CUET aspirant, yes, it is. So do make sure that you are very clear about that also. So that is it from today. From our side, guys, I hope you were able to understand what exactly CUET and CLAT, what is the similarity and differences, and how you can incline your preparation according to that. Any exiting comments, Aman sir, for all the students?
I mean, I was just hoping, right, that if someone has any more questions for us, right, for both of us, I think we would love to answer that. So anyone, any queries you guys have, please feel free to share in the group.
Or you can also post it on the comment box, and we will be happy to respond to all of them. So any comments before we leave, Aman sir? Last comments for all the students.
So I think I would again start वहीं से जहाँ पे अभी हमने बात किया कि दोनों एग्जाम्स काफी अलग-अलग हैं. I think शायद अच्छा हुआ है कि बहुत सारे लोगों को मालूम है कि लाइक जो 5-year इंटीग्रेटेड कोर्स है वो बहुत और जगहों पे भी अवेलेबल है. I think that's the good thing. ज़्यादा लोगों को मालूम हो रहा है कि law as a career option, I think वो भी एक ज़्यादा चीज़ है. But अगर आप otherwise देखें तो जो एग्जाम्स है वो बहुत अलग-अलग हैं. Obviously basics will remain the same because दोनों ही law entrance exams हैं, तो basics तो दोनों के ही same रहेंगे. But otherwise I think जो preparation style या जो strategy की जो हम बात बोलते हैं, I think दोनों एग्जाम्स के लिए वो अलग ही होगी. I think that's what I feel. Yeah.
Okay, so that is it. So please make sure that you are following all these tips that we have given you today, and they'll be very helpful for you in CUET. Thank you, Aman sir, for joining this session. I hope the students were able to learn something very useful today about a new exam that is coming up. So thank you guys. Take care of yourself. Hope you enjoyed this session, and don't forget to hit on the like, share and subscribe button, and also hit on the bell icon. Thank you guys. Take care and have a nice day ahead.
Thank you.